r/raised by narcissists. Riddisher driver coming to graduation. Okay, I know by just the title this already sounds a tad weird. Basically, for the backstory purposes, I posted a few months that my mum was choosing to visit her boyfriend instead of coming to my college graduation. But I kinda expected something like that and wasn't super surprised. My aunt, mom's sister, and cousin said they were coming, and my best friend is coming, so I wasn't too upset. I went on vacation with my cousin over spring break and somehow the conversation turned towards my sexuality. I'm a lesbian, and my cousin asked me if high school rumors were true, and was pretty much just like, yup. That was on the last night of our trip and she hasn't spoken to me since, which again not super surprising. I grew up in a very rural conservative community. My mom had a similar reaction, but with the added benefit of just ignoring everything I said and insisting I go out with a neighbor's son. Anyway, my aunt called a few days ago to say that she and my cousin will not be coming to graduation. No reason was given, so I can pretty much figure out why. On Friday I took my last exam for undergrad and took an Uber home from work later that day, and my driver asked if I was a student and I explained that I'm graduating in about a week. She was super excited and asked when my family was coming down. I was just kinda like, they're not, and gave her a brief rundown on why. So she decided she would come to my graduation to support me. Her reaction was instant, and I'm still a little blown away that a total stranger is doing what my family should have been doing. I texted her to give her the details of the ceremony, where/when, and she was so sweet and is bringing a cake and also offered to pick me up before the ceremony. Like, how nice is that? Edit. Thanks everyone for the well wishes. I really appreciate them all and teared up multiple times today reading them, but like in a good way. Also, a couple people mentioned live streaming my graduation, and while I have no idea how to do that, my university does a live stream during the ceremony. I don't know the linking policies on this sub, but if you search Emory Commencement Webcast there's a link to a live stream for the ceremony. It's May 13th at 9 AM. My father passed away last year and I just learned a secret from my narcissistic mother that has me furious. I'm 32 and up. Until I was maybe 26 to 27 years old, I steadily borrowed money from my father to help me get on my feet. I finally landed a nice job that jump-started my career and paid him the remainder a couple years ago. Only here's the thing. He traveled for business and was only home weekends. Once I got to working and making the money back, I was working weekends, so I'd swing by and see my mom and give her the money. Never really talked about it much. My dad would just ask how's the apartment, or how's the car running, or how was that concert. After loaning me money for said things, my mother randomly admitted to just holding on to that money and spending it, instead of telling him I repaid it or giving it to him. This was around the time she started cheating on him and hitting the bars. So my repayment was going to her beer money. They didn't keep separate accounts, but when my dad gave me cash, it was out of his traveling money. BC he was old fashioned and carried cash, not just a check or something from their account. So my dad died not knowing I paid him back all that money, and he never said anything. My parents tried to send me to rehab for an addiction I don't have. I'm so fucking amazed right now I can't even handle this. I have Tourette's syndrome. Note, mother doesn't believe I do. There isn't really any cure for Tourette's syndrome excluding some heavy duty prescription medications or a couple alternative medicines. I go the alternative route. My doctor is aware of these. I take kratom, a legal, 100% safe plant from Indonesia, and CBD oil. Other important information. My parents kicked me out of the house just after my 18th birthday because of an argument over my prom dress. My mom is clearly a narcissist, and my dad is highly complacent. I've lived with my boyfriend and his family ever since. I would cut off all contact with my parents then, but I'm ineligible for student loans, and I'm reliant on my parents to pay for my education. Over Christmas, my parents snooped through my bag and saw my kratom and CBD oil. Instead of asking me about it, they decided to do research and decided what I was doing was equivalent to heroin. Everything escalated, and I learned through my little sister that my parents decided to cut off my education fund. They made me wait 2 months before we finally had the meeting. It lasted 3 minutes. They wanted me to fold. They wanted me to give in and ask what I needed to do for their forgiveness and to get the money back. But I'm done. I don't care anymore. I told them that if they wanted to revoke my education fund, I wanted nothing to do with them. From this point onward I would have no contact with them. Of course my mother burst into tears, and I walked away feeling amazing. I guess the next day my mother met with my boyfriend's mom, who is absolutely amazing and like family to me. She told my BF's mom that they had flights booked for me to go across the country to a rehab center the night we met. She said that my 10-year-old cousin could even tell I was on hard drugs, and that my chronic Crohn's disease I've been dealing with isn't real, but a symptom of the hard drugs I take. She said boyfriend was a pimp, he was cheating and abusing me, and that I did heroin. My mom tried to convince my boyfriend's mother to secretly take me to a professional intervention for my addiction. Thank God my boyfriend's mom is reasonable, and she came and talked to me. She let me explain and understood. She blocked my parents, and I'm absolutely praying that they are finally out of my life. I'm not sure how I'm going to continue school, but I really don't care if I can finally be free of all this bullshit and abuse. I thought it was done when I left the meeting, but I guess not. Edit. Also I guess me applying at my sister's old place of work is trying to ruin her future and destroy her mental health. Because that makes logical sense. My mom is going around telling everyone about my sex life. I'm so fucking horrified right now. My boyfriend's mom just came to me saying she got a text from my mother, who I cut off contact with 3 days ago. I live with my BF and his mom. My parents are insane and are currently trying to get me into rehab for a drug addiction that doesn't exist. My fucking insane mother contacted an old friend of mine who I ended on bad terms with due to a situation somewhat related to my parents, and that friend told my mom pretty much every damn secret I ever told her. Shit about my relationship, things about my boyfriend, my sex life. When my mom found this out, she texted my boyfriend's mom, I just found out some disgusting and disturbing new information. My name and boyfriend's name have an open relationship. I cannot believe this. You need to secretly take her to therapy so we can get her help. I can't believe she would do something like this. I just can't. Who gives a fuck about my relationship? It has nothing to do with her. I'm so embarrassed and disgusted right now. I just want my parents to be out of my life. I thought I would finally be done with them 3 days ago when I told them I was not interested in having any further contact with them, but now they are infiltrating the people close to me.